Men get depressed too. What nobody says out loud, the strongest thing a man can do is admit he is not okay, not because weakness is strength, because honesty is the beginning of every recovery that has ever happened. Men don't get depressed. That is the lie, and it is killing them. The man who carries everything in silence, who shows up every day, who never asks for help, who was told from childhood that strength means not feeling, and has been paying for that lie ever since. Men die by suicide at 4 times the rate of women, not because they suffer more, because they are 4 times less likely to say they are struggling. The culture that tells men that strength means silence is not building strong men. It is building men who suffer alone until the suffering becomes unbearable. This video is not a therapy session. It is not a lecture about toxic masculinity. It is an honest conversation. From Stoic philosophy, from faith, from the experience of men who have been to the darkest places and come back. About what depression in men actually looks like, why it goes unspoken, and what the Stoics understood about the inner life of a man that nobody is saying out loud. If you are a man watching this is for you. If you love a man who is struggling, this is for you too, because the silence is not protecting anyone. It is just making the darkness louder. Men's depression does not look like the depression in the films. Here is what it actually looks like, and why so many men, and the people who love them, miss it entirely. What men's depression actually looks like, name it to address it. It looks like anger, not sadness. The irritability that comes from nowhere, the short fuse, the reaction that is bigger than the situation deserves. Men often experience depression as anger because anger feels more acceptable, more masculine, more in control than sadness. But underneath the anger is exhaustion, and underneath the exhaustion is pain that has nowhere to go. It looks like constant busyness. The man who never stops, who works longer hours than necessary, who fills every moment with activity because stillness is unbearable. Busyness is one of the most effective ways to avoid feeling what is actually happening inside. The man who cannot sit still is often the man who is most afraid of what he will find if he does. It looks like withdrawal. The man who stops showing up, who becomes quieter, who distances himself from the people who love him, not because he doesn't love them back, but because the distance feels safer than letting anyone see what is happening. The withdrawal is not rejection, it is protection, but it cuts the man off from the very connection that could help him. It looks like fine. The most dangerous presentation of all. The man who says he is fine, who performs fine for everyone around him, who is so practiced at appearing okay that nobody, including sometimes himself, knows how far from okay he actually is. Fine is often the word a man uses when he has given up on anyone understanding. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius was emperor of Rome, the most powerful man alive, and the Meditations, his private journal, never meant to be published, reveal a man who fought daily battles, not with armies but with his own mind, doubt, grief, exhaustion, the weight of responsibility, the fear of not being enough. He wrote about all of it, privately, honestly, not because he was weak, because he was wise enough to know that naming what is happening inside you is the first step to not being controlled by it. Confine yourself to the present. You have power over your mind, not outside events. David Goggins, one of the toughest human beings alive by any measure, has spoken openly about depression, about the darkness he has lived in, about the 300-pound man who hated himself so completely that the pain of Navy SEAL training felt like relief from what was happening inside his head. His story is not about a man who was never depressed. It is about a man who ran toward his darkness instead of away from it, who used the suffering as material, who refused to let the pain be the final word, and faith, real faith, not the performance of it, has always known that men carry darkness. David in the Psalms did not perform strength. He laid his darkness before God raw and unfiltered. Job did not pretend everything was fine. He argued with God about his suffering. The Bible is full of strong men who were honest about being broken. That honesty was not a failure of faith. It was the truest expression of it. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. 3 truths. Not advice, not a program. Truths. The kind that change how a man sees himself. Asking for help is not weakness, it is strategy. The strongest military commanders in history did not fight alone. They gathered intelligence. They used resources. They asked for help from the people around them because they understood that the mission was bigger than their pride. A man who refuses to ask for help when he is struggling is not being strong. He is letting pride cost him the mission. Marcus Aurelius surrounded himself with teachers, advisors, and philosophers his entire life. He never stopped seeking guidance. He wrote private notes to himself when he needed help thinking clearly. Asking for help from a trusted friend, a professional, from God is not an admission of failure. It is the decision of a man who takes his life seriously enough to fight for it properly. Accept the help of those who wish to assist you, and do not be ashamed of receiving it.